A Kultured Kast has been created for entertainment and educational purposes. The advice given are opinions of our host and not of medical advice. The podcast is not a substitute for direct, personalized, professional medical care and diagnosis. Exercises and dietary advice mentioned should be discussed with your physician or personal trainer to find out what is best for you. Welcome to the next episode of the Kultured Kast with Big Papa Mac, CJ Fitness, Perfect Performance Training, also known as the big guy, the pretty boy, and the old man, Zaddy D, and gosh in the middle here.
Oh, he's so cute.
Cute. Welcome, Mac Gullia, to the podcast, buddy. Great to have you here.
Hey, great to be here.
Correct me in my little intro. National level CPA classic physique competitor. 10 years in the fitness industry, over 10 years. Recently transitioned into automotive sales. And obsessed with fitness and sales.
Absolutely.
Correct me again, chronologically, if I'm wrong. You helped Joel Thorney open probably the most successful supplement chain in Ontario, if not Canada. And we're an integral big part of that. Your fiance now is a very big part of that. You transitioned from there to Treadmill Factory, leading sales, regional sales, and that. Now you've transitioned a third time into automotive sales and ass kicking that as well. And I should know because I'm about to buy a vehicle from you today. How the fuck are you successful at everything you touch? Like you've got the golden Midas touch.
My mindset is always, no matter what I do, like I want to win. I want to win at whatever it is. It started with athletics growing up, hockey, basketball, and I just want to be number one at what I do, no matter what it is. And, one of my role models was Kobe Bryant, and that's huge growing up because I kind of structured my basketball game and mindset around how he did it. And then it translates to every aspect of life as well. He wants to be the best and he tries to learn from the best people. And so whatever industry I've been in, that's kind of what I try and do. You constantly learn.
You are who you surround yourself with.
Absolutely. Your circle is the most important thing. And if you're the most successful person in the room, you got to find a different room.
Yeah, absolutely. Fuck, I totally agree with that.
He just wakes up every morning, pisses excellence.
but the message lost in that is that if the hubris and the arrogance of people and common people that we all know, by the way, will be their ultimate downfall. You and I talked about this on the test drive yesterday. Like hubris is people's their narcissism is going to be their end, their failure in everything they attempt.
100%.
And like you and I talked about as well in the drive, you can only fake it for so much, and then people are going to go, "Who the fuck is this guy?"
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
And clearly you have the physical attributes to have competed and in the athletics. But I think we're here today more to talk about not so much your physical attributes, but your mindset. And you said that about, I'm just going to fucking win. Like you just said when you're joking around about bowling that, if you're not first, you're last. There is no fucking second place. Silver sucks. We all know that.
Yep.
And unless silver medal here, he's really happy. That
unless it's me bowling against Matt, I will feel proud about that.
Yeah.
If I can get close.
Did you hear that pitch in his voice?
Yeah, yeah. Just get close to Matt and bowling. Yeah. Higher aspirations, pal. Let's shoot for the moon here. But I want to know, in that, you didn't start, you and Joel had a really rough start and then boom. I'm not sure how it really started at Treadmill Factory and then all of a sudden boom. Automotive sales, you and I were talking about in the first month, that's not physical attributes. That's not, emotional, spiritual. That's a mental mentality. What separates you from second place?
Why you gotta point at me like that?
Because you're just rimmed with silver right now.
Well, my high school basketball coach used to always tell us basically if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. There's no staying the same. And
yeah, I love it.
In a sense, so some people will be like, you know what, I just rested today and I didn't. But if you're not trying to progress or get 1% better, someone else is. So even if you've technically stayed the same, someone around you is getting better than you. So another car salesman bettering himself in the industry is getting better than me. Well, he's going to sell more cars than me if I'm being lazy and taking a day off. So that's kind of what I've done for everything, whether it was basketball growing up and then with Boss being in the fitness industry, competing, you always got to be trying to be 1% better every day. If you're not bettering yourself, you're technically getting worse. It's the same as money. If you're saving money and it's just sitting there kind of in a bank account, okay, you're not losing money, but inflation is going higher every day, right? So that money's technically going down.
Being less
Absolutely,
valuable.
100%.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at
100%.
it.
So,
Yeah.
So with all of your success that Todd has alluded to, at any point did you doubt yourself? Did you ever have self-doubt? And if you did, how did you overcome that?
I think everyone does at some point, but if like bodybuilding, for instance, there's so many different aspects to it, genetics, all this stuff, and some stuff you can't overcome. There's going to be people with better genetics, but my thing is just be the hardest worker in the room. And if you love something, you can find a way, essentially. So for me, bodybuilding was kind of what taught me all the discipline. Always never missing a meal, all that stuff. And it translates to every other aspect of my life as well. So
Kind of
just
give you the structure.
Yeah, the structure and consistency, that's kind of your foundation, and that you can utilize that for literally anything.
Out of all the things that you've been successful at, whether it be bodybuilding, sales, whatever, what would you say you're most proud of?
Good question, Paul.
Probably.
2 for
You know
2.
what? They say
Two
that
for
like
two.
4 times,
Yes.
but they will always say
Buddy,
5.
it's 4 times in 22 fucking episodes. Don't be proud of
It's
that.
been like twice today at least.
Don't be proud of that.
It's been 1 per episode so far.
The most proud thing is probably being able to transition well and
Adapting.
well, honestly, when you kind of mentioned what like we were going to talk about, it was the biggest compliment ever. Like and seeing kind of what I've been able to do in transition, it's really cool. So that's probably what I'm most proud of, being able to transition to whatever industry and be somewhat successful.
yeah, knowing like, you know, and
It's not downplay it. Somewhat successful it's
you're successful.
No,
successful.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like cool too, like you knowing because of, you know, it's your mindset. Like if you ever, you know, you've done bodybuilding and now you're doing sales, you know, I see you in sales for a long time, but if there was ever a time that you got out of sales and did something different, it's like you already know that you'll be successful in that because of the mindset and work that you put behind it.
Yep.
Right. So there's really nothing off the table that you would be like, oh, I don't think I could succeed at that. Right. Like you could do well at anything you really try.
Do you not think though, like I've always been taught that sales, and to me, every industry is sales. Does not matter what you're in. In
100%.
sales, a good salesperson is someone that develops and nurtures relationships.
Yep.
You're both the roles you play at the gym, the role I played, the role that you've pivoted, and you did all this fucking during COVID too, which blows my mind. But you had the discipline to go from one field, let's say with Boss, and the product knowledge depth there that blows my mind, and go into Treadmill Factory. Yeah, you're a fit guy, but you probably didn't know everything about that, but had the discipline now to bring that on. Go from there to automotive sales would have absolutely
Polar
nothing to do
opposite.
with the first two,
Yeah.
right? But had the wherewithal, and I go back to the word discipline again, to go, okay, you know what? If I'm going to beat this guy, if I'm going to be number one, I have to have a better breadth of knowledge of what that truck has out in the parking lot or what inventory we have at all.
100%.
Like it's a moving model, right?
It's constant knowledge. So, and not being afraid to know that like, I'm not going in there. Obviously my goal was to be the number one person there. Like at whatever I do. And I love everyone that I work with, but at the end of the day, I want to be the top person there always.
Yeah.
That's just how my mind works. I don't know how to not be like that.
Yeah.
And it comes down to the minute I was there, I have a coworker, Paul, amazing, successful, been in the industry for 7 years. And, right away, I knew that, okay, well, this is the top guy. I got to pick his brain. And right away, he gave me a list of 5 books that I could read. And, you just got to surround yourself with people who are better than you and learn kind of why they're there and what has been successful for them.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome that, you know, he's the number one guy. He knows you want to be the number one guy and he's still like, here.
Well,
let me
that's
help you.
that's literally
Right?
the
And that's what I love about
That's
that.
the environment
Yeah.
that you want to be around.
Absolutely.
that's the
Pal.
environment at that dealership though. Like we're all a big family. Like everyone's friendly, and it's obviously there's a level of competition. Like we all like to be, you
But
know,
it's a healthy competition.
yeah, we razz each other. Oh, like, you know, look at the sticker board this month or whatever.
Yeah.
And
what
but
we do
It's the
with
exact
ourselves,
same thing
yeah.
at the gym.
100%, and it's healthy.
We don't want to bring up when you came in last place in the tricycle race, right? Like that was that.
I had a weight disadvantage. But one of the things that me and Paul actually talked about a lot, and it comes down to, I think what's helped me transition is you have to building your brand. So whatever you're doing, like I've built my brand as like people know what I stand for, and whether that's going to be selling treadmills, supplements, selling cars, or if I quit tomorrow and open, you know, Matt's Cupcake Shop, they're going to know that like my morals and ethics get carried into whatever I do. So whether it's selling cars or cupcakes or whatever, that's just
It's all the same.
Yeah, it's all the same.
Quality.
Yeah, and go back to developing and nurturing relationships. Like you're not just developing and nurturing relationship with that end consumer. Like look at the relationship you've built with Christy. Look at the relationship you've built with Paul. Like and the people around you.
Yep.
Like that to me just breeds success. If you walk around, and we know people at our place that walk around chip on there and maybe a little attitude here, they're never ever going to fit into the puzzle of that family or that culture. Never.
No.
Right. And that to me is part of sales. If you don't fit into that culture, if you don't fit into that mold of I want to nurture my relationship with you, not so much. But to me, that is success, right? You're not just developing the relationship with the end consumer. You're developing the relationship with all the people around you that
100%.
mold that, right?
100%.
Yeah.
We all make each other better. So that's kind of every industry.
Yeah. Yeah.
And fitness is the same way. Like, I mean, we might be doing the same show, right?
Yeah.
And
Oh, I want to sweep those quads.
right.
Right.
but like the first thing that we said to each other in the gym the other day is like, it would be amazing because we'll be different height cap classes, but
Yeah.
it would be amazing to make it into the overall and be able to compete with each other. And I can
Right.
tell you, if I lose to Jeff, I'm going to hold his hand up and be stoked for him.
Yeah.
And likewise.
Yeah. So that's just kind of how it is.
Yeah,
And
for
my
sure.
mindset.
We've talked about this on the pod before. I don't know if I ever talked about it with you, but I always say, you know, like you're not a sore loser if you lose, right? It's not always about winning. It's about like wanting to win, right? So just like you said, you know, if you guys ever went head to head on stage, like damn right, he's going after you, you're going after him,
100%.
right? And if you lose,
yeah.
you're just as happy for that other person, right? But it's
Absolutely.
just the idea that you guys, you want to win at every single thing that you do.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And I think like, you know, to touch base on something someone said before is with bodybuilding, they say it's not a camaraderie sport. It's a individual sport. And I think in some instances that could be the case because you are eyeing people up and, you know, people are going to get butt hurt. But if you're, you know, if you're along with people that you care about and you're about the sport or the artistry, you're going to want those people to succeed because you're going to see the potential in them.
Absolutely.
You don't even have to go, you don't even have to talk about that on stage, just seeing people in the gym in general,
Yeah.
right? Like how many like petty people do you see in the gym where they might not like one person just because they're in great shape, like just
Yeah.
because they are where you want to be.
Yeah, exactly.
But where I think, so obviously bodybuilding is individual, but if you think about the team and the support system you need to have to be a successful bodybuilder,
Right? Oh my
like,
God, yeah.
like I couldn't do what I do without Alicia
Yeah.
having my back, right? Like it's
Yeah.
very hard to do what we
Or
do
Aaron,
without
or whoever, yeah.
without a support, like a supportive partner, or whatever that is, a surrounding circle that understands, doesn't pressure you. Like, oh, we're gonna go out for beers or drinks or whatever. But you know, Matt, we want you to come, but they're not going to pressure you to.
That's right.
To do all that.
Yeah,
Like,
I
I-
understand that. Hey, I'm on prep. I can't.
Well,
Yeah.
it comes down to the whole thing and like balance. And I honestly hate the term balance because if you want to be the best at something, there's not really such thing as balance. There's going to be sacrifices, and that's just how it is.
Yeah.
My version of balance for bodybuilding, anyways, was always, you know what, if there's an outing, if there's a party or whatever it is, I'm going to go, but I'm going to be the guy who brings my meals to the party. And that in my mind, that's balance because I'm still doing my goals, but I'm still being social.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't need to go get hammered with everyone just because everyone else is doing it. Cause
Yeah.
I've heard it before, like, oh, you got to let yourself go and enjoy once in a while. Well, this is what I enjoy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
to
exactly.
me, that's true balance.
I'm
Like
doing what I'm enjoying.
being pressured into getting fucked with people on the weekend is
Yeah.
not,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
that's
not what
not,
you
that's
wanna
not
be.
balance
That's not
because
your
it takes you
ideal.
away from your goal.
Well, it's like the first time I talked to Matt and he told me that, like, I don't want to say he diets all year round, but he's always on a meal plan all year round, not just when he's in prep. And I'm like, oh man, like that's crazy. That's crazy. He goes, yeah, but like that's what he enjoys doing.
Yeah.
Right.
I honestly, if I had to wake up every day and think about what do I have to eat or what
What
am
do
I
I
wanna
gonna
eat
What am I
this
going to
week?
make? Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm always
Right?
yeah.
Well, it's like Einstein, right? He had one outfit 7 days a week. He didn't want to expend energy on what he was going to wear. Same
100%.
outfit 7 days a week.
100%.
I want to ask a question from the bleachers here, just because I'm curious. So they say the difference between a winner and loser is not that they have something that you don't, is that they're willing to sacrifice something you won't. So the idea that someone will know all the new shows that are binge worthy, the other person is too busy getting better. The other one has a massive group of friends. The other one is too busy getting better. I want to know what you are willing to sacrifice to win and what you won't.
It's been the drinking and partying and all the little like the fun things. Like I'll still go and I still have fun. I'll still go to those outings, but I haven't been to a bar and I can't tell you how long, or any of the stuff that people like to do for fun. I don't know. That's why like when we went bowling and stuff for those weeks, that's always fun to me because that's something that I can bring my food, I can do whatever.
Yeah.
So like the drinking and partying, that's something that was like an easy, like I've never been a big drinker. Obviously I did my year like in university and stuff, but like that was an easy, like cut that out. Won't sacrifice anything family. So family's obviously huge to me. And that's pretty much the only thing, like family and close friends that I consider family. But the people who really mean the most to you aren't going to ask you to sacrifice the things that you love anyway. So
Good point.
The drinking thing is something that I can relate to hugely because like I don't drink, and like how many times can I count sometimes when I've been at a party or just with a group of friends like, oh my God, you don't drink, like you're so boring. It's like, no, like that's just not what I enjoy.
I can go have fun and be the fun guy at a party completely sober and
I
be a
don't need
complete
alcohol
goof
to have
without
fun.
alcohol.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
110%.
So this winning mentality that we're centered this session about, was there a pivot point in your life? Like was COVID okay, fuck, I'm pivoting and changing, or was it a younger time in your life where you always had to win?
It's always been, I can remember like my mom playing me one-on-one in basketball when I was a kid, and like the first time beating her and then like never going easy on her, and I just had to win. And like board games and stuff, I would always need to win. But like a huge oh dude,
Honestly,
I know because I'm just
don't.
like I'm the same.
You land on Baltic Avenue, give me my fucking $6, great.
right?
Yeah, fucking right.
One of the big role models in my life that kind of pushed me too was in high school. So Jeff Plunkett, he's a friend. He passed away in 2017, and one of my closest friends, and he was one of the best basketball players ever, and he's one of the guys that he walked in a room and literally everything gravitated toward the energy he had. And he used to pick me up because I didn't drive, I didn't have a car. He used to pick me up at like 5:30, 6 o'clock every day, and we used to go to the gym before school opened, and we used to shoot for 2 hours. Then we'd go to school, and then at lunch we'd be shooting for like, instead of eating, we just shoot. And we were always just putting in the work. And that was it showed me that you just need to give up your lunch, give up your extra time, give up sleep sometimes once in a while. Like there's things that you're going to have to sacrifice, but if you're going to do it, if you want to be the best at something, you got to do it. And that I've
seen the clips that you've shared like on social media. Is that him too? Like that's in the clip, right?
Yeah.
High school?
Yeah. It was in high school. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And he went down east for basketball?
No, he played
he
played at Laurentian University, and then he went to Ottawa.
Ottawa's where
with the
I remember.
Yeah. So yeah.
The GGs.
Yeah.
Yeah. They went to the Final Four, did they not?
His brother Matt was playing for them as well, and he was super successful.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All goes back to that mindset.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Right?
So we're talking about your success, and you've pivoted a few times, but I've seen so many people, and it seems like they're pivoting every other second.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's detrimental to their success, or is that what entrepreneurship is all about?
Great
I
question.
think there's a balance. I think if you don't give something enough time, you're not going to know truly. Like you always hear, if you're kind of plateauing at a job for a couple of years, it might be time to kind of look. And that's kind of what happened with the Treadmill Factory. It was just, after 2 years, I didn't really see any room for growth, and I knew sales wise, I'm good in sales. So I said, it's time to pursue something that I don't really see a ceiling. And cars is something I'm passionate about, and sales. And it was just kind of, had a couple of buddies who have been trying to get me to do it for years, and I finally took the plunge, and it was good. So I think you need to give yourself time to give yourself a chance to see if you can actually do something. If you're constantly pivoting, it's like.
Do you think it's like our instant gratification these days? Everyone wants it and they want it now.
100%. Of course it is.
Right? So when it doesn't hit, they instantly, okay, next.
There's gonna be rough months. Like there's always gonna be rough months, years even. Like January, February in the car industry a little bit slower, and I'd be lying if I didn't say I was a little discouraged. It was my first January, February, so I'd never really experienced it.
Yeah.
And you go from selling like 15, 20 cars a month to like you're selling 6, 8 cars a month, and you're like, well, what am I doing wrong? So that goes back to having doubts. And you just kind of got to keep your foot on the gas and ignore all the stuff around you and just keep going. That's pretty much every industry I find. It's like, when you start a new diet, right? Yeah. And people, and I'm sure you see it in clients all the time, they start a new diet or they start a new workout routine. in the gym, let's say I stay on a workout routine for 6 to 8 weeks. I've stayed on them longer. I've stayed on the same workout routine for 6 months before and had some of the best results I ever had, and just trying to progressively overload the muscle and get a little bit better each week. But if you hear like, oh, I'm going to shock the body every week. Well, how do you know how you're getting better? Right.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. I think you can't really gauge your progress and success unless you've actually tried and given yourself time to grow.
Yeah. Or people get bored of it.
100%.
It's, oh, I want new exercises. Like,
Sure.
not shaming any of my clients
no.
here, but
It's like when
they're
people want
all, I want new exercise. I want a new program, but like this one's working.
Yeah.
100%.
You know, this program, we're getting crazy results. Your strength's going up. Your PRs are going up. You know, everything's going in the right direction. And now I have to write a new program
because you're bored.
because you're bored, and we got to hope, right, that this program is going to hit a home run just like this last one did.
It's like, are you doing this program to have fun, or are you doing it to get results? Because results is what we're getting right now.
Yeah.
100%.
Right.
100%. You got to stay, like, consistency is the biggest thing, especially in fitness, right? Like, you can't just jump around. And I think it's the same in jobs, which is cool to think about it that way. It's the same thing.
Well, when you're talking about that, like, is an entrepreneur someone that is just a creative mind, develops something and walks away? Or is an entrepreneur someone that may develop something or take something into an existing industry like you have 3 times successfully and mold it into something that they see it as and what their success level as? Because to me, an entrepreneur is everything. Like, you're a creative mind, but you fucking better be able to execute too.
Yeah, you got to follow.
Because if you can't follow through and you can't execute, you're just fucking a dreamer. That's all you are.
You're
Go sit
like
in the corner with that sketch. And
someone with an imagination.
There's a lot of people with ideas that just have no drive to follow through with them, and and it's unfortunate because there's a lot of really creative people without the drive, right?
100%.
Or even the means. There could be some amazing entrepreneurs out there who are just living, you know, paycheck to paycheck, barely making it by, and they can't scrape it together, you know. So,
But a lot of people wouldn't even define you as an entrepreneur, and I do, because you didn't own the first company, you didn't own the second company, you don't own the company you're with, but you're entrepreneurial in every single one of them. And I think it's your success because you have the entrepreneurial mindset.
Yeah, I think
Right?
I think it comes down to building your own brand.
Yes.
Like what I was saying, and yes, I'm a car salesman, but how can I build my brand differently? So taking something that already exists and making it better, and kind of going from there.
Yeah.
Like we created our LME, like networking group, Paul, myself, Jake, and we took something, because there's other networking groups out there that we've all been a part of, and they're great. The foundation is amazing. Like and so we wanted to see how we can take all the good aspects of it and make it a little bit better. Yeah. So I didn't invent networking groups, but you got to have that mindset to take something that's already existing, even if you don't own it, and just make it better.
100%. And I think it's comparable to trainers too. Like, we all know who rep counters are. Yeah. And then we also know a trainer that actually engages per rep or per breath, you know, take it to a very analytical level. And those that just are just like, okay, I'm clock watching. I'm going to go to the dealership today. I'm punching in at 9. I'm leaving at 5. Yeah. Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
But you're creating a business within a business because you have that entrepreneurial winning mindset.
Yeah. And it sounds dumb, but I want to see myself at the top of the sticker board every month.
Fucking
like,
A, man.
Sometimes it's not, obviously making money is cool, but like, sometimes it's not even about the money. It's about that stupid little sticker, like having more than the next person every month.
That's what the sticker represents.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Right. It does.
Absolutely.
I have a last question kind of before we move on here. Are you more on the side, and I think I know the answer, but maybe for the people that are listening, of being a successful entrepreneur, is it important to you to have multiple sources of income? Or are you more on the side of, you know, car sales is what I want to succeed at the most, I'm just going to make the most money that I can doing that?
I think there's always going to be a main focus. Like right now, I'm putting a ton of focus into car sales. It's one of my main streams of income. I still have my coaching, and I love coaching, but I've capped myself. I won't take on more clients just because it's not fair to them. At a certain point, like, you got to be able to balance those clients. Mm-hmm. And right now I'm tapped out for those because I can give my full attention to the amount that I have. Yeah. But I think, multiple streams of income, especially with the economy the way it is now, I think one stream is almost impossible. Like you're struggling.
Right, eh?
It's hard. And it's unfortunately the economy is the way it is, and you need to create multiple streams of income to be able to
fucking survive.
Absolutely.
You almost want to
Fuck.
have like passive income so that you can
Yeah.
dedicate all this time to
Yeah.
car sales or PT.
100%.
Yeah.
But then you have something that you're dedicating as minimal amount of time to that is going to be as profitable
Absolutely.
in regards to the time. you put
Absolutely.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Do you want to ask your last question there, pal?
Yeah, man, this
This
is
is a doozy.
okay. I've asked this. You've probably asked this. Everyone's asked it. But why the fuck can't Corey grow legs? Like,
His problem is eating food.
Yeah.
His problem is eating food.
Buddy, we talked about you
I've
this
coached
week.
Corey. I know he trains hard in the gym. It's fucking food,
food,
man.
yeah.
You need to eat food.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
the last time we trained legs. It was a while ago. It was like around Nikki's birthday.
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
yeah. That was like October.
And he collapsed out of a seated.
Oh, in
leg
my
press.
office?
No.
Oh, you tried to get
Oh,
was that when
no.
you tried to get out of the
No,
I
chair?
that
have
was
the picture
mine
on my
only.
phone. It's like the bilateral leg
Yeah.
press. And he went and he just like plopped on the ground. It was just like, oh
Yeah.
my God.
One thing that no one will ever be able to say to me is like, I will never back away from a workout,
No.
right?
No.
Like
Oh
there's
my
never
God, no.
anything where I'll say like, oh no, I'm not doing a leg day with Jeff. I'm not doing leg day. Like I'll do the fucking workout.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just eat a fucking sandwich.
No, man, I would get,
How's that?
I would get little eyes and ears all over the gym, like texting me, like, Corey didn't eat his breakfast
I
today.
know.
Or Corey
Oh,
didn't eat
really?
his post-workout meal. Oh yeah, all the time. Like I saw Corey like eating peanut butter out of the jar, like a little bit more than, and I'd be like,
Peanut butter out of the jar.
Is that
Yeah.
Tristan?
I've seen it.
No, that was me eating Kraft peanut butter rather
Instead of
than
the
like all
natural.
natural
Yeah,
peanut
that's
butter.
oh
right,
yeah,
yeah.
he hit. I said,
And
natural
please don't
peanut-
tell Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they told Matt. Yeah.
Fucking traitors. Oh, fucking traitors.
So the moral of the story is fucking
Eat
eat a
the
sandwich,
food.
man.
Yeah.
Eat something.
Dude, eat food.
Yeah.
Like-
No, I know.
And we had a couple of talks about that this week, right? Like we
Yeah,
sat on the
it's
perch
just-
and said, go eat your next meal.
Yeah,
You were
no.
pissed off.
It's just I was not pissed off. I was.
You did it
actually-
though.
I did it, and
Yeah.
then sometimes that's
You just
what I
pout it
need.
over the middle.
It's the
Oh, he was so mad. He was like the brat in the last episode.
Yeah.
And you fucking don't eat my sandwich.
no, it's the appetite. I found that there have been times, I would even say like 6 months ago, I had an appetite like no other. I could
Yeah.
eat a meal and I'd be fucking hungry all day, and I'm eating. And then, life goes certain ways and things happen and this
Yeah.
and that. And then you just get in these little, slumps. Which
You get some
everyone goes
ruts
through.
for sure.
There-
And then, you
sure.
kind of lose the appetite a little bit.
But you know what? Like, as I've seen Jeff go through it, I've gone through it a bunch of times, like 7,000 calories a day, having to eat that. It's not fun. Like I was
Oh,
up to
no.
6,800 calories,
Oh.
and there's days you wake up and you don't want to eat,
Because you're
but
still full.
you,
from the
right,
fucking
Right.
meal.
I know,
but
right.
but your metabolism. What I find is if you push through, even I tell my clients all the time that are trying to put on size, if you push through the first week or two, get those meals down, your body does acclimatize. to
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
Your
yeah.
metabolism
Absolutely.
adjusts.
Dude, it's nothing I don't know. Like it's stuff I preach to my clients all the time, right? Like you have to train. If you're not hungry at this time of day, you got to train your body to be hungry at that time of day.
100%.
You're never going to be hungry at 8 o'clock in the morning if you never eat at 8 o'clock.
No.
I think it's an emotional barrier for you too.
yeah,
Like your ups and downs your appetite will follow that.
yeah.
It does. That
That's
does
what I
for
can
everyone.
relate
Yeah,
to that.
absolutely.
Your stress
man.
levels, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But you just got to sit down and just eat.
That's
Just
it.
grind through
Blend
it,
it.
right?
Yeah.
What's that, pal?
Blend
Blend
it.
it.
Yeah,
Everything's just
fucking blend it. If in
I've
doubt,
done-
drink it.
Oh.
All right. Are we ready? If you could invent something, what would it be?
Oof. Some sort of automated system so that I can handle more leads.
Yes, I like it. See?
Yeah, just can't get away from that, eh? I could invent something. Oh, you go first, Chef. I might need it.
I think it'd be a new social media platform.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Can you tell me a little bit about it, or is it PG? It's not PG.
Oh, it's PG, but it would be like a filterless. You can't enhance anything. You can't. It's just real. I guess it's the be real thing, right?
Be real. Yeah,
What about
yeah.
a social media platform for kids?
Nah. Well, that's Facebook Messenger Kids.
Do they have that? Like, is
it's
it
like
popular?
It's like a texting thing, but only for kids, and nobody can add that kid unless they have a code, and that code is so fucking like.
Well, and rightly
Out
so,
there.
right? Like it should
Yeah,
be, right? It
yeah.
should be protected.
I
What about you?
I'd probably invent like some kind of sport, right? I think like sports are something I love. I'd probably take two sports and fucking combine them. Have you guys ever seen that movie Basketball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
something like
Corey
that.
would do like
Yeah.
foot key,
Yeah, fuck.
He'd invent a drug.
play football on skates.
You'd invent a drug you could take so that you didn't have to eat food.
Exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly
Just
right.
a pill.
All right, name 5 animals that produce milk.
Goats,
Yep.
cows.
Dogs.
Yep.
Dogs.
Yeah.
What are you shaking your fucking head for?
God, what,
You haven't
what,
seen a dog?
what do
pregnant
you
with
think?
a
They're sucking on the teeth.
Cats,
Like
yeah,
cats. There you go.
Gorillas.
gorillas, and we got horses, yaks, reindeer. That was an easy one.
Anything-
Fuck, don't worry. They're gonna
anything
get
mammal,
they're
no?
gonna get better and dirtier as we go because you're a special guest.
Oh, good.
What's the first thing you would do if you became invisible?
I'd rob a bank.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
walk right
I would
in.
hijack-
Yeah. What? Boop, boop, boop.
I would probably say the same thing.
I
to
would
be honest.
hijack. I would
Like,
hijack a Ferrari.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. You got to work on your goals.
Yeah.
I'd hijack a Ferrari.
What's your personal kryptonite?
Donuts.
Oh yeah, I knew. I was waiting for him to say that.
I had one on my way here today.
Yes, yeah. Well, it was still in your mouth and you sat down. I know about
I literally sat down and Todd's like, buddy, you
What's
gotta
that white shit on your face?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a donut.
And that's not the first time he was asked that. The last
Yeah.
24 hours.
My kryptonite. Depends on what we're looking at, but it'd be chicken wings.
Ah,
Chicken
Okay.
wings.
Lasagna.
Beer.
Lasagna.
lasagna.
Yay. Forget about it.
If your life was a story, what would be the title?
Holy fuck.
I'll start with Mark. That's
You'll
perfect.
never believe this.
Yeah.
Boys?
Story, what the title? Yeah.
Started from the bottom.
Oh, I like
That'd
that.
be
Start
like
from the
your
bottom.
theme
That's
song,
good.
eh?
Good.
Yeah.
Corey Little.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Corey.
Not just Corey.
Mine would be better luck next time. Because this one sucks. Okay. Would you rather have more time or more money?
Time.
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 Yes,
And
love
I
it.
can make more money.
What would be the worst buy one, get one free sale of all time? Mine was caskets.
I was going to say caskets. Caskets.
Grave plot, like plots, cemetery
Plots,
plots.
plots, cemetery
Yeah,
plots.
yeah.
That's good.
Cremations.
Yeah.
Okay. Where was the most inappropriate or embarrassing place you last farted?
Oh, so I did a big stretch in the staff room when Paula walked by.
Oh, nice.
And it was just like, I was like, oh my God. So that would have been it.
That's Paula.
Yeah.
Test drive with a view.
Oh, you didn't.
Oh, no,
I
it,
did.
it wasn't yesterday afternoon around 4.
No.
Was it? Oh, okay.
No, it was. And it didn't smell. Thank God. But I was like, oh, I hope this doesn't smell. It's too.
Yeah.
I would have cranked the seat
Oh,
then, so just let it
I was
out.
training a client one day and one like just squeaked out a little bit when I moved. And I was like, oh my God. Because I know our diets. Like it could
At any time.
peel paint.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh God, yeah, you got 5 more reps.
Really? 'Cause every time we're in the staff room and you fart, and I'm pretty sure like they don't smell. They
don't. But I'm on a fucking
No,
pretty
it's more
intense
about
diet
what's
right
to
now.
come next. Have you not followed him in the universal bathroom?
Every time we're in,
Honest to God, I have 911 on speed dial when I followed him.
I walked out of the bathroom and Todd's there and I'm like, don't go in there. And I walk and literally I get in my car, I drive to an appointment, my phone dings.
Yeah.
Do you need medical?
Pretty sure we talked about that on a couple episodes.
Yeah, and then I sent him an emoji of a guy plunging a toilet. Like, I literally had to do manual labor so I could sit down and take a shit after that guy. That's all I gotta say. All right, fill in the blanks. When I dance, I look like.
Elaine from Friends.
Oh, nice.
Elaine from Friends.
Have you ever
no,
seen
from
her dance?
Seinfeld.
From Seinfeld.
Oh, from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
You go ahead.
Phoebe running.
Phoebe. I'd say what's that Kevin James in Hitch when he's in his office.
Yeah, that's a good one. Good. All right. What do you wear to bed?
Boxers.
Boxers.
Okay, now that you're in bed, dirty talk or moaning and groaning?
Dirty talk.
Why limit
Fuck
yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck. If I were a woman, both,
I would say both.
Mr. Shy.
That's a possibility these days.
You know what?
Yeah,
I did have you try to find my balls the other day. All right, sorry, I meant balls.
I would say both, but don't overdo it on the moaning. Don't overdo
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, don't fake
Yeah,
it.
it's
You
like, I
must
know it
get that.
doesn't feel that fucking
You must
good.
get that a lot.
I'm not that good.
Yeah. Do you want to elaborate on that? Do you get that a lot when you know that they're acting?
Yeah. You know what? He's going to town. She's moaning. He goes, okay, tone it down a bit.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
I know I'm
Let's
not
just
that good.
fucking Fake it.
based on
Yeah.
like historically speaking.
Yeah.
You're excessive.
Yeah. Like, don't fucking lie to me.
Well, it's me. Don't moan to me.
Okay, professional or amateur porn?
Well,
Are we?
amateur
Like, yeah.
porn is technically professional now, and professional
So-
porn depicts amateur.
I was going to say
Very-
amateurs really sort of like
thought
your
about that.
OnlyFans page.
You thought about that.
Like you're a star of one of them.
Yeah,
One of the two. Yeah.
amateur.
Amateur.
Yeah, I would say the whole when it's too fake and I don't know.
I totally agree.
You know,
You know what I mean?
Ding dong.
Yeah,
I got your pizza.
The plumbers. yeah.
You got some sausage for me?
You know the best is I like when JR's
You
talking.
mean that line doesn't work?
When JR's like, oh, I watched the movie last night. Oh, what movie did you watch? Oh, it's about this girl. She got a problem with her sink, so she calls this guy over, and she doesn't have any money to pay him. And we're like, okay, you watch porn. Just say you watch porn.
When we went to Monica's birthday, Jared like pulled up. What was it? He had something on his phone. It was like a porno movie or whatever.
Yeah.
He starts like, yeah, I was just watching this movie. He had it like loaded on his phone.
Oh, he's very open.
Ready to go.
Very open.
Sorry, Jay. I probably should have said that. I know you listen every week. Love you, buddy.
It's nothing that he wouldn't say if he was.
No, that's right. You're totally
We
right.
got to have him on this.
And now we know what he does from 11 p.m. till 6 a.m. at AK.
Night shift.
Yeah. All right. Tell me what you're doing for the rest of your weekend in your best stoner voice.
Okay. So, bruh, after this, I'm gonna go to the gym. And then after that, I'm going to, what was I saying? Yeah, I'm going to hit up that Veta Spa and then, yeah, chill, bro.
Chill, bro.
Chill, bro. Like, hey, you've gotten high in the past. Have you ever said, bro?
I'm talking about like a modern stoner.
Yeah, he's acting right now.
Or like if you talk
He's
like
acting
Tommy
right
Chung, like, hey, man.
Yeah, no,
That's right. Man.
I have to go back to the dealership and deliver 7 cars today.
Raleigh. That's awesome.
And tomorrow, I was going to try and sell some more cars.
Sunday, more cars. I got to go back to athletic culture and train Aviva. We're going to do some legs and got to go to Jack Astor's, get those munch on, and hit up the rec room tonight. We're not inviting Gullia because he goes way too far.
I'm going to go home. I'm going to smoke a J the size of my forearm. And then I'm going to lie on the couch and let everybody get fucking better than me. That's our last episode, Matt Gullia. Thank you very much, my man.
Thank you so
Pleasure
much.
having you here. We'll definitely have you back. And we'll see you next time. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'll talk to you soon.